Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving headfirst into KDP Publisher Pro. This is a tool that's been making some serious waves in the Amazon AI publishing space lately. We're going to cut right through all the marketing noise to look at the exact mechanics, the real-world claims, and a completely independent review of the software. All right, let's just jump right in.
So let me ask you something to kick things off. What is the real bottleneck in AI publishing today? I mean, you might think it's the writing itself or maybe the tedious formatting, right? But according to the source material we're looking at today, it's actually this frustrating phenomenon called prompt paralysis. You open up ChatGPT, you've got this truly great book idea, and then you just freeze. You're staring at that blinking cursor like it owes you money. You know the AI can do the heavy lifting, but figuring out exactly how to ask for it, that is where everything just comes to a grinding halt.
The creator of KDP Publisher Pro points out that this frustration usually hits right out of the gate with his overwhelming flood of questions. You know, what prompt should I use? How do I write the introduction? What on earth should Chapter 1 include? Getting a successful book out of an AI isn't about just throwing random ideas at it and hoping for the best. It's about knowing exactly what to ask, precisely when to ask it, and how to guide it so you don't lose hours to trial and error and end up with some confusing, disjointed manuscript. Okay, so we really need to clear up exactly what this software does. There's this persistent fantasy out there of push-button publishing, right? This idea that an AI tool will just magically write an entire, perfect book for you with absolutely zero effort. But as the independent review of KDP Publisher Pro makes super clear, that's just not reality. Instead, this tool generates professionally structured ChatGPT prompts. Basically, it's a prompt engineering shortcut. Understanding that distinction is absolutely crucial because it sets realistic expectations. Think of this as an organizational layer that sits on top of ChatGPT, not some autonomous magic wand.
And that brings us to the guy behind the tool, Simon Newcomb. According to his sales materials, he's a self-published author with a massive 351 books published on Amazon. He says he actually built KDP Publisher Pro for himself because he was just completely exhausted from reinventing the wheel. He was spending hours writing the exact same complex prompts every single time he started a new project. So his solution? You set up a book's core parameters just once, and then you let a system generate every necessary AI prompt for you.
Let's actually look under the hood at the mechanics of this 5-step workflow. You start with Step 1, book setup. That foundational data then automatically feeds into Step 2, generating your section prompts chapter by chapter. That cascades beautifully into Step 3, designing your cover and images. Step 4 preps your publishing assets, and finally Step 5 is where you manually assemble everything over in ChatGPT. It's designed to turn a really chaotic process into a predictable assembly line. Now, what's really fascinating here is that first step, the book setup wizard. This single interface solves one of the absolute biggest headaches of AI writing, which is context loss. If you spent any time using AI, you know the pain of having to re-explain your book's concept, tone, and audience over and over again in every new chat window. Here, you enter the title, your target reader, and the desired outcome just one time. The software then uses that foundational data to inform literally every single prompt it generates moving forward, which keeps your book's tone incredibly consistent from the intro all the way to the conclusion. Next up, let's talk about the cover generator. To be clear, the software doesn't actually draw the cover for you. Rather, it creates incredibly detailed AI image prompts based directly on that initial book setup you did earlier. It gives specific visual style directions, stuff like clean modern or realistic photographic, along with layout and typography instructions. This gives tools like ChatGPT's image generator clear, professional, creative direction. And honestly, that's what separates a cheap, generic AI-looking cover from one that actually gets clicks on Amazon.
The source material actually provided these exact vegetable gardening covers as direct proof of what the system can output. The creator really stresses that these designs were generated strictly using the software's prompts. No hidden editing, no custom tweaking by some professional graphic designer, just the raw prompts. It's pretty compelling visual validation that these generated prompts can actually guide AI to create highly commercial, professional-looking designs, even if you have absolutely zero artistic background.
But hey, writing the book and making a cover is really only half the battle, right? KDP Publisher Pro also generates prompts for the rest of your crucial publishing assets. We're talking Amazon listing copy, brainstorming back-end keywords, suggesting niche categories, and even drafting those super standard but tedious review, copyright, and disclaimer pages. I do want to flag one really important detail from the independent review here, though. The back-end keyword generation creates ideas using AI. It does not pull live real-time Amazon search volume data. So you're definitely going to want to treat those suggestions as a solid starting point for your own research, not the final word.
To back up all these claims, the creator provides some tangible proof. Here's a KDP dashboard reflecting over £5,800 in estimated royalties. This is meant to demonstrate that the medium content book model and the structured workflow this software is built on actually generates real, substantial royalties out there in the real world. It's a nice, tangible reminder that consistently publishing well-structured, highly targeted books is what actually builds a sustainable KDP business over time.
Okay, so we've seen the sales pitch, but let's shift gears and do an objective reality check. An independent review gave this software a solid 7.6 out of 10. Let's look under the hood from a buyer's perspective and see exactly where that score comes from.
One of the most surprising takeaways from this independent review is the pricing structure. The software costs a flat one-time fee of $27 during its launch window. But what is genuinely rare here, and the reviewer explicitly went out of their way to verify this, is that there are absolutely no hidden upsells or one-time offers waiting to ambush you after you hand over your credit card. If you've ever bought software in this space, you know how incredibly rare that is. What you see is exactly what you get.
Let's just lay all the cards on the table with the pros and cons directly from that independent review so you have the full picture. On the plus side, we've got that completely transparent one-time fee, the massive amount of time it saves by curing prompt writing paralysis, and the fact that it brilliantly covers the full asset chain from your manuscript all the way to your Amazon listing. However, there are some cons you need to be very aware of before jumping in. There is a strict no refund policy because it's an instant digital download. Your purchase is absolutely final. Also, you still have to do the manual work of copying and pasting the prompts into ChatGPT, and those prompts are highly specific to ChatGPT, meaning other AI models might not give you the best results.
So what's the final verdict? The review breaks it down perfectly. This tool is best for first-time or repeat nonfiction KDP authors, bloggers, and coaches who want a repeatable, reliable system and just want to save hours building their own prompt library from scratch. On the flip side, you should definitely skip this if you're a fiction author, if you publish heavily designed low-to-no content books like simple planners or line journals, or if you're looking for a fully automated software that writes, formats, and publishes the entire book for you while you sleep.
Which brings us right back to our final thought. We've seen how stripping away the guesswork of prompt engineering can transform hours of frustration into a highly streamlined workflow. The source material makes a really strong case that organizational structure, not just raw AI power, is the true key to consistent publishing success. So, I'll leave you with this to chew on. Is structured prompt engineering the missing link for your next Amazon KDP book? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.